Yeah, I'm just testing some stuff out. I've been kind of playing around with the idea of doing a kind of a more live stream style. My problem is I'm running out of time to make videos, and so I'm considering what it would look like to. I don't know if you're familiar, Mr. Noble TV. I'm not sure if you're familiar with like Dave 2D. He does a very live stream-esque style, and so I could do, all of my content, is essentially that's really disgusting. Look at that. It's essentially live stream style, anyways, because I use OBS for most things. So, yeah, let me know in the chat. What do you guys think about that? I know that there might only be 2 people watching right now. I might be one of those one of the 2 people. So, but yeah, I'm just considering what it would look like to. Yeah, okay, you're subscribed to Dave 2D. Just considering what it would look like, because here's the thing. Here's my thought process. I have seen every YouTuber under the sun do slow motion B-roll of a product. And at this point, there's nothing all that crazy about it. Like, I just don't think, like when I see a YouTuber use slow motion B-roll, I'm like, okay, that footage looks fine. That doesn't prove that you know what you're doing or anything like that. And so, like, I like the cinematography of all that, but, like, I'm not sure what all it adds. And it came up because, one, because of watching Dave 2D's channel. 2, Tom Buck did a video completely unedited, slightly live, and he reminded everybody in that video of, like, look, this is what YouTube, like, this is when YouTube was fun, when people just got on, talked, and, if you needed B-roll, it was like to prove a point, not necessarily to give like a cool vibe to something. And so, yeah, so I'm just kind of curious, like, what are your guys' thoughts on high quality videos versus kind of just more real, authentic videos? Because, like, again, like with my setup, man, I can do all sorts of cool, cool side cam stuff, all this stuff. Like, I can do all that. I can do, any of that stuff. But I am just curious what people want. Because seriously, like, this channel is a service to people. It is not about me. And so if people are more served by beautiful videos where I put out one a week and it looks really beautiful, great. If people are cool with kind of more down-to-earth videos, like the ones I've been doing recently that are really lightly edited, yeah, really, really lightly edited. They're all pretty much live cutting and all that kind of stuff. I'm cool with that, man. Like, when I watch Dave 2D, I would rather personally watch a Dave 2D video than a MKBHD video, even though I love MKBHD. Let me see. Mr. Noble, you're saying some stuff. I tried to just get to the point on my videos. I tried all kind of stuff. My viewers just like whatever the title's about. Yeah. And that's part of it. Like, if you're making videos, you're getting to the point. I don't know how much slow motion B-roll matters anymore. Specifically people who do like all the coffee montages. Like, bro, how many coffee montages can you see before you're just like, I don't care anymore about coffee montages? So, Mr. Noble TV, yours is like a show and tell thing. Let me check this out. This is, let's see if I can do, yeah. So this is Mr. Noble TV, right, ya? His channel. I don't have audio on here right now, but maybe you guys can hear it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess you got a little bit of audio output.
Now, what we have today is
yeah, it's like a show and tell style.
As for you get all these different styles.
Here, I would like it, and I will subscribe.
Pretty much the
there you
same.
go. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much. I don't know what to do, because I really, really like high quality cinematic videos, but I'm not sure how much it actually is adding to the experience. You know, like I'm saying, I could show off anything in the studio and still do well. If you guys have other questions, ask me. Brandon, you asked me, what do you think? Do you think I wasted money with buying an iPad Pro like 2 months ago because my laptop and all crashed and I needed it for work? Oh, an iPad 10. Do I think you wasted your money? Probably not. I'm live, if you didn't know. You want to be in the live video? So, do I think you wasted your money? No, I don't think you wasted your money. An iPad 10 is a great iPad. It's going to last you years to come, which is going to be awesome. Could you have waited? That's the issue with tech is always this. There's always something new around the corner. So, like, you needed that product when you needed it for work, and that's great. That is what you needed it for. So, I don't think you wasted your money. Yeah, there's new stuff out, and it's fun. It does functionally the exact same thing as your iPad 10 does, so no, dude, I don't think you wasted your money. So, Mr. Noble TV says, if you're going to do cinematic videos, be a great storyteller. That seems to work. Yeah, and I speak for a living as a pastor. I know how to effectively tell stories. I know how effectively to present. And so kind of one of the issues is I can put out a lot more content if I do more of a live stream-esque style. So it's kind of that like give and take of like spend a lot of time on a video and what if it gets 100,000 views, or spend an hour on a video. So like a cinematic video would probably take me like 5 hours total, 5 or 6 hours total. And then the kind of more live stream-esque, live cutting style takes me about an hour total. I can put out 3 videos a week if I do the live stream style, whereas I could probably only put out 1 video every week and a half if I do like a higher quality style. David, you asked what church I preach at. I'm at a church called Orlando Baptist Church, and so I'm one of the associate pastors there. So I preach once a month to once every other month there right now. That's what I do. So, okay, let's see. Looks great. Just get to the point of my videos. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know, man. I want to know your guys' thoughts of, like, what do you really like? Do you really like high-quality cinematic videos, or do you like just kind of more laid-back, chill, or it's just a mix? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I'm in my head too much, where it's really just a mix of stuff, and it doesn't have to be any one specific style. Richard, can you talk about the way that pastors can integrate tech into what they do every day? Yeah, Vintage Jonah, I could talk about that. For me, iPads are really big in my workflow. Specifically, I'm also a worship pastor. Like, I'm the worship pastor of the church. And so, for me, iPads are a huge part of what I do because we use it all for chord charts. Like, our whole band is on iPads. I use Logos Bible software as my when I'm doing sermon prep stuff. So, I mean, tech is all day in my life with what I'm doing. And also, man, AirPod Pros. I have them in my pocket right now. AirPod Pros. Let's get a nice look, guys. These things, they changed the game, okay? Like, being able to go to a coffee shop, hit that noise cancellation on, it is crazy that the whole entire world just like disappears around you because of AirPod Pros. Like, and they're not junky. Like, they hold up really well. Battery life is fantastic on these things. I have had a really, really good experience with them, and I actually did a video recently about them, and I thought that I was not going to like that silicone ring in my ear because typically I don't like that. But I really learned to love these things. So AirPod Pros, man, those are great. Especially I have 2 young kids, so when I need to like drown out the world and really hone in on what I'm doing, AirPod Pros are where it's at. A couple more people jumping in the chat right now. Have you tried the new live streaming on Shorts? You talking about just vertical content, Mr. Noble TV? I have not tried vertical streaming. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if I'd like that or not. Yeah. Silmar says, Lord bless you. Man, Lord bless you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Jonah, I use an iPad to edit all my videos along with my iPhones. So Mr. Noble TV, your whole workflow is on an iPad when you're doing your editing. That's pretty cool, man. I use, well, right now I'm streaming on a PC. If I'm not doing like streaming, live cutting, all that kind of stuff, I end up using a M3 MacBook Pro. I've got a 14-inch, 48 gigs of RAM, 4 terabytes of storage, and it's the M3 Max. And I had to cut off my arm and sell it to somebody for it. So, it was crazy. All right. Hey, John, do you think if I have a chance, should I go with the iPad Pro or the Air is enough? All right, well, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Right here, iPad Pro, or sorry, iPad Air, right here. This iPad Air is a great device. I've had such a good time using this iPad Air. However, it is almost unbeatable to talk about this iPad Pro. Like, this thing is so bananas. This iPad Pro down here, is this thing really not going to focus? Come on. Come on. So this iPad Pro down here, screen looks amazing. Everything about it is just so incredibly dope. I'm going to get this guy to focus right here. Okay, there we go. Just the screen, like looking at the smoothness of the screen, that's a really, really big deal. Whereas, I guess, I just don't know if you guys can see it on the live stream. It's just so much more choppy on the iPad Air, whereas the iPad Pro is smooth as butter. Now, I have not had a great experience with the battery life of the new iPad Pro. I used to be able to get days and days and days out of my my iPad Pro. Sorry, I can't speak right now. I'm tired. So far, man, I'm getting like 2 days out of this thing, and that's not with like a ton of use. So I don't know what's going on with this thing, but like when I'm using this iPad Pro right here, especially with the keyboard, it has been cutting down the battery a fair bit. I do have the Apple Pencil Pro that I've been using with it, and that's been kind of sweet to use. Again, though, I'm not an artist, so the Apple Pencil Pro doesn't do a ton for me specifically. So like I know it would be huge for somebody who's actually an artist, but like I would be fine with the iPad Air. I do think the Air has a better battery life just because it's got it's more space in it. I don't know what the actual battery life, like the actual what's it called? The capacity of the battery, whatever that. I can't remember what it's called. Okay, I'm going to keep going back to some of the chat right now. So, back to your question, though, Thomas. You said, do you think if I have a chance, should I go with the iPad Pro or the iPad Air? Thomas, what do you do for work? That's a big question. If you do something like art or color grading or anything like that, the iPad Pro is absolutely worth it. If you're just trying to take a little bit of notes on it and you're just trying to consume content, like you're watching YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff, I do think that the iPad Air is probably just fine. So, yeah. But let me know what you do. So, Mr. Noble TV says he has the AirPods and the Studio Beats. That's sweet, dude. Yeah, my wife has those Beats, and she uses them all the time. She likes them a lot. I do prefer over-the-ear headphones. The Beats that she has, they're not over the ear. They're like around the ear. I love these right here. I have the Bose Quiet Comforts. It's not gonna show. So I have these Bose Quiet Comfort. Dude, these are like 12 years old. They are so old, and they sound fantastic. So I got new ear cuffs for them at one point. But I like that my whole ear fits inside here, and I don't have to put it on top of my ear because I have found that to just be really, really frustrating to have to like hold the weight of it on your ear the whole time. That's been really frustrating. So I want to try out AirPods Max. Still haven't. I would love to. So yeah, all right, let's keep going. Okay, Mr. Noble TV, what app do you use to edit videos? Mr. Noble uses LumaFusion. He says it's extremely easy to use. I've always wanted to use LumaFusion. I never have. I use every editing app for different reasons. I use DaVinci Resolve when I'm on PC. I use Final Cut when I'm on my Mac because it's super fast. I can cut through stuff super fast. And then I use Premiere Pro when I'm trying to do a lot of short stuff because it's got some cool stuff built into it. So I end up using all the major ones. Let's see. Should I get an M2 iPad Pro or the M2 Air? I was literally going to film that video tonight before I got into a conversation with my wife about quality versus quantity on YouTube, and I still don't know the answer. So if anybody has an answer out there, you tell me, please. Because they're the same price, personally, I would go with the M2 Pro. And if you want to, check out the video on it this week, but that's the short of it. I would choose the M2 Pro just to get that ProMotion display. It's beautiful. The ProMotion display is awesome. They're both 225 pixels per inch, so they're both like super sharp. It's the liquid retina display. So yeah, those are pretty sweet. Let's see. It's popular. You should try it. Yes, I tried PC, but it works better because of the touchscreen. What's PC? Like a Windows PC? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I got an iPad Pro Sunday, and my wife has the iPad Air. And man, that Pro, yeah, bro, that Pro is choice, bro. It is a gorgeous screen. It's awesome. But man, what's hard to justify is the price. Like, let's be real. The pricing on those things, like this iPad Pro with the keyboard and the Apple Pencil, bro, it was a pretty penny. My wallet is not happy after that. Neither is my wife. So, yeah, you'll have to, like, if you have the budget for it, go for the Pro, man. It's an awesome, awesome iPad. If you don't have the budget for it, the iPad Air is great. Let's see. That's what I have too, the iPad Air. But I'm getting the new iPad Air 13-inch pretty soon. Mr. Noble Tech, you will have to decide because look at this, man. That's the size of my entire noggin. That is like, literally, it is like holding a TV in your hand. That was cool. It just did face unlock with my face on OBS on the screen over here. That's kind of funny. Oh, wait, this doesn't have that, does it? Why did it unlock? So, that's a big iPad. Like, look at the difference of, here, I'll grab, this is the M2 Pro right here. The M2 Pro versus, that's a big difference, man. M2 Pro versus the 13-inch Air. That 13-inch Air is a very large boy. So you tell me, man. Does size really matter? We'll see. All right. Jeremy Collins in the chat. What is up, my guy? Have you tried all the Apple Pencil Pro squeeze features? I have. I have tried all the Apple Pencil Pro squeeze features. They're cool. I like them. Right now, I have. Let's see if we can demo it real quick, just for fun. All right. So, I was actually just before doing this video, was messing with it. So it like, oh yeah, I gotta connect it real quick. Hello. There, connected. Like, it is pretty cool to just be able to switch in real quick and get to stuff. And like, what's sweet about it is it's good enough that like my daughter, who is 5 years old, was able to do it, and she did great with it. So for anybody, it'll be great. They'll be fine using it. So Apple Pencil Pro, it's cool. Again, I'm not an artist, so I don't know that I'm like the target audience of who this will be cool for. So I don't know, dude. Y'all tell me. What do you think about it? What do you guys think about the Apple Pencil Pro? Do you think it's worth it? It's $129, I believe. I don't know. Why the live stream isn't in 4K, says Eston. Eston, because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay? I'm not a live streamer. If you want to see live streamers, my friend Jeremy, he live streams all the time. Jeremy Collins in the chat. He live streams a lot. Could be a little louder. What? Why does that happen? Here, let's bring old Fuzzy in. How's that? Is that a little bit louder? The audio's too low. Why would that be? Like on OBS, I'm hitting pretty loud on OBS. So sorry about that, guys. All right. Anaji Powell. Sorry if I messed your name up. Anaji Powell says, thinking about getting a second iPad. Should I get the iPad mini? Yes. Okay, the iPad mini is the best iPad that exists. Where's my iPad mini right now? I have it somewhere around here. I love the iPad mini. To me, it's the best iPad for reading. You can take notes on it really great. You can connect a Bluetooth keyboard to it, and so if you really want to use it to produce stuff and to work on it, you can. If you have the budget, man, an iPad mini freaking rules. You can use it for so many things. Like I use it in my videography business. I use it a lot to use as a teleprompter for people. There's just so many uses for it. Guys, tell me in the chat if the audio is fixed real quick. That would be very helpful. I have this stream on low latency. Next time I might go ultra low because I think it's probably a minute behind where I'm at live. So, yeah. Okay, audio's too low. I tried to fix that. Yeah, it could be louder. Tried to fix that. Yes, I have the over-the-ear ones too, the Studio Beats. Okay, so the Studio Beats, according to Mr. Noble Tech, they go all the way over your ear, which is pretty sweet. Uses CapCut. Quality is key. Windows. Oh, he's talking about a Windows PC earlier. Jonathan Fortner, what? Hey, bro. Jonathan Fortner, my man. What's going on? It's good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. I'd love to see you guys sometime. It's been a long time. Eston says, I really do love small phones. I hope the current size of the standard iPhone models won't change. Here's my thought, Eston. I'm really hoping that some of the new iPhones, I really hope Apple has their patent out. I really hope they go into foldables. The reason I think they killed off the iPhone mini, and I think they're going to kill off the iPad mini, that's a possibility. At WWDC in June, they might put out a new mini. If they don't, man, I think they're going to kill it off, and I'm hoping that they're going to kill it off and replace it with foldable devices. Because, like, think about this. An iPhone, where's my iPhone? An iPhone, folded out like this is essentially the size of an iPad mini. That would be awesome. Or just take your iPhone, fold it in half. That would be sweet, too. I have heard of a lot of people with these Samsung foldable phones that are saying they break really easy. So I'm not sure if Apple can perfect it. I'm not sure what will happen. So... but yeah, small phones, man. I don't like having a huge phone in my pocket. It's mad frustrating. So, yeah, I hope that Apple does that. I honestly don't know that they will. They're making enough money right now, and they've got such a hold on things that they don't really need to make a big change. Like seriously, like this iPhone is gorgeous. It works fantastic. I got a video coming out actually this next week about that. This is MagBank. They sent me out some stuff. Super cool company. But the iPhone is like a perfected thing. I don't know how much Apple wants to mess with it because it is such a good seller for them. Like they're making bank off of that iPhone. So we'll see. I really hope foldables are the future. Audio sounds fine. Thanks, Jennifer. I appreciate it. Jennifer, you might be my only female viewer, according to my analytics. So appreciate you stepping into the chat. Eston, currently using a Huawei P20 for its 5.8-inch display. Eston, where do you live? I've heard Huawei phones are a lot more popular overseas. They're not super popular in the States. So Yeah, I've heard they're quite large of a company overseas. How did you get into Apple? Eric Emerson asked that. How did I get into Apple? I got into Apple because, okay, I remember being 18 years old. I'm 35 now. I was 18 years old. My friend Luke Domick got a MacBook Pro. It was the silver one, and it was awesome. And I remember like using the operating system for the first time because like I grew up in a house that had Windows PCs. Using the operating system, and I absolutely loved the simplicity of it, but it had a lot of cool things like widgets. Widgets at that time, back in, what was that, 2006, 2007? Widgets were like cool, man, and they were the new thing, and it was useful, and there was people would come out with new widgets, so that was awesome. So I remember that was like when I really got into Apple, but I remember, actually, it was that same friend, Luke. He was the first person I knew that got the first iPhone when it first came out, and I was absolutely blown away by it. And then later, 2010 was it or whatever, when they came out with the iPad. I've just always been into innovation. I do really like the Johnny Ive era, the design of it, the functionality, like the, he definitely went design over it actually functioning well, but it was, those MacBooks back in the Johnny Ive era, they were gorgeous. Really thin, fairly light, almost lit on fire, and terrible keyboards, but they look pretty. So I've just always loved that about Apple, but I also like to tinker. So I've built probably 50 PCs over my life. So like I love the PC world too. I would love to start a PC channel later on once this one's a little bit more successful. So yeah, I've been into Apple since, I don't know, I graduated in 2007, so since back then. Let's see. Hoping for their own iteration of foldables won't be as fragile as the current ones. Totally agree. From the Philippines, man. That's awesome. Got a lot of friends here in Orlando from the Philippines, so that's sweet. Jennifer says, I have an iPad Pro 11-inch from 2018. Runs fine. I love it. Just the battery life could be better. Is it worth to upgrade to the 2024 iPad Pro 11-inch? I'm curious if the battery is way better. No, the battery is not way better. If you want great battery life, fantastic battery life, go with the M2 iPad Pro. This thing will last me days and days and days. The new M4 iPad Pro right here, it will last me 2 days. If you want battery life, M2 iPad Pro is the way to go. You get the ProMotion display, which is awesome. Yes, the new M4 iPad Pro is thinner, but who cares? Like, who needed a thinner iPad? It's a little bit lighter. That's cool. But really, the difference between a quarter of a pound, it's not even that much between the two, but like, the difference between these grams, you're just not going to notice when it's in your backpack. Who needed a thinner iPad? I don't know. It is a great iPad, like, don't get me wrong, but I don't notice a difference between the M2 and the M4 when you're looking at the functionality. So, Jennifer says, I've always been a tech girl for as long as I can remember. My first love was a Game Boy Advance. Yeah, man, Game Boy Advance was awesome. Actually, my son is 8 years old. We bought him a Game Boy Color this year, and he loved it. And so he's like and it's the kind, it's before it had the backlit screen. Yeah, so we bought him the little light that goes on top of the Game Boy Color. I bought him Pokemon Red. So those are back in the day where tech was amazing. Everything was transparent. Loved it. I do love that current tech is kind of coming back around to transparent plastic. It's pretty sweet. Do you like the sharp corners of the current Samsung Ultras? Eston, I've never used an Android phone. I probably should. I don't have an opinion about the Samsung Ultra, S24 Ultra, whatever it is. I would love to try it out. I don't have a budget to do that, to like get Android phones. So if anybody from Android or from Samsung is watching this, if you want to send one out, I will review it. I will enjoy it. I'll check it out. But my channel is primarily an Apple channel. And I don't like doing the thing that a lot of people do, like, I switched to Samsung or I switched to Android, and then a week later they're back on iPhone. Like, I'm a diehard Apple fan. You can call me a fanboy, I don't care. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would love to check it out. Eston says he loves the corners of the current pixels. That's dope. Proud of you, bud. Glad you like it. Jennifer says, thank you for your advice. Appreciate that. I'd save some more money too. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, any of these products, you're going to purchase the thing. It's going to be cool for a week, and then you're not going to care about it being new and all that. I would rather people use their money to be generous to things, like generous to the right things. Save your money. Don't spend it always. Like, you don't have to spend every dollar you make. And older tech, when you're talking about older tech, like a year or two old, you're gonna save a ton of money, and it's gonna be 95% as good as the brand new thing. So I'm always kind of for that. Let's see. I miss the size of the standard 11 Pro. Yeah, I hate that they've gone in a direction where phones are just massive right now. Jennifer says, oh yeah, remember those with the lights? All new to us. What an era. Yeah. That was when stuff was fantastic back in the day. If you guys have any more questions, throw them in the chat. I'll be here for a few more minutes. I want to go watch a show with my wife because she's beautiful and I love her with all my heart. And I want to spend time with her. So y'all let me know in the chat. I got a few more minutes. Any other questions about these iPads, the Apple Pencil Pro, the new Magic Keyboard, anything like that? Man, we've grown. Guys, this has been a cool month. We've grown. Let me see if I can show you here. Focus on it. We've grown by 1,000 subscribers this month. That's cool. That's cool. There's a lot of new people in the community here. I am stoked about that. Super thankful for everybody. I'd love doing more of these live streams where, like, relationally we can get to know each other, because reviews are fun. They're helpful, but they're not super relational. So I really value this kind of time. Let me know. Do you guys like live streams? Do you like chatting around? I love talking tech. I love talking tech news. So Jennifer says, yeah, I love Apple, but the fact that the new iPads do not support the second generation Apple Pencil is so silly. That's so true, man. I have an Apple Pencil right there. And the fact that they're, like, making stuff obsolete too early is very frustrating. So, I mean, what, you really can't make it backwards compatible? Or, like, dude, if it's a matter of charging because it doesn't have the right magnets to charge, come out with a charger. It's that easy. Let it connect somehow. I don't know. That did frustrate me. I totally agree. When's the next giveaway? Jeremy, if you guys don't know this, story time. Jeremy wins all of my giveaways. Somehow, some way, because Jeremy's like one of two people that end up joining it. So, I don't know, Jer. Giveaways have not seemed to work great. So, I don't know. Worked great. And it's like, I don't know. We'll see. Eric Emerson says, thanks for your answer on the Apple background. I grew up with them in the 80s. Yeah, man. That's so cool. So you got to see all the cool stuff happen where Steve Jobs got kicked out, brought back in. That's sweet, man. We live in Orlando, so we go to Epcot all the time, and one of my favorite scenes in the world. I love the Epcot ball, the Spaceship Earth, because it's the history of communication, and I love communication. Like, I love studying communication and all that. And so you go like Gutenberg Press, and then it moves on through the papers and all that kind of stuff. I love the scene where you're in the garage. Some say it's Steve Jobs. Who knows if it's him or Bill Gates? I think it's Steve Jobs, okay? But it's so cool to see, back in like the 80s, early 80s, him in his garage. Would that be late 70s, early 80s? That's a sweet time of history, man. That's cool stuff. So, Eric, I appreciate you being here, man. Can you please do a day in the life with the iPad? Absolutely, Vintage Jonah. I have been thinking about that. I've actually been thinking about doing a week of just iPad use and what that looks like. I don't know how interested people are in the day-to-day life of a pastor. So I don't know that anybody really cares what I do, what I do in my day-to-day life. It's a lot of reading, it's a lot of writing, and it's a lot of meeting with people. So maybe it'd be good because I've had a neighbor, maybe she can hear me. I'm in my garage if you guys don't know. I've had a neighbor say like, yeah, well, you work 1 day a week. I'm like, ma'am, I work 60 hours a week. I don't work 1 day a week. Maybe, I don't know. You tell me. If you want a week in the life or day in the life, I'm totally down to do a video like that. They work great for me. Mac Mini on sale. You suggest buy or wait for the rumored new Mac Mini this year? Well, Rosie, which Mac Mini? If it's the M2 or the M2 Pro, that thing rules. And even the M1 Mac Mini, it still freaking rules. So if it's a good enough price, like maybe $550, $600, somewhere in there, I'd get it, man. It's actually, I was looking at one for my wife has a personal chef business that she does, and she's actually might be starting a YouTube channel. So if she does, she should jump in the chat and say, "Hey, here's my YouTube channel." But I was looking at getting her a Mac Mini because it is probably my favorite Mac product of all time, just because it is the cheapest, most incredible little machine out there. The size of it, it's awesome. As somebody who builds PCs, a little thing like that with all that power is dope. Man, Chris Casillas, what's up, bro? I'm so good. Just glad every time I see you in the comments, man. Super thankful for you. You've been an OG from the beginning, bro. Saw a YouTube comment that someone traded their 9th gen iPad for $170 to get the 10th gen. Yeah, because Chris, you use your iPad, your 9th gen, for like all your preaching and ministry stuff. I believe that is what you said in the comments. Yeah, the 10th gen iPad rules. It's a great iPad. I don't know that you're going to notice a huge difference, but like, if it gets you a couple more years, maybe it's worth it, bro. The M2 for $499. I'd pull the trigger, Rosie. Let me tell you this. I've used M2 iPad Airs, or not iPad, M2 MacBook Airs. I've used M2 MacBook Pros, M1 MacBook Pros. I've used M3 Max MacBook Pros. And as long as you're not doing insane video editing and all that kind of stuff, I don't notice a difference between the three. So if you're talking, Rosie, what do you do for work? If you're just talking like, hey, I answer emails, I watch YouTube videos, all that, get an M1 Mac Mini. You'll find it for what, $400 maybe, $300, $350. The M1 Mac Mini is still an awesome machine. Actually, Peter Lindgren, if you don't know his channel, Peter Lindgren still uses an M1 Mac Mini for like most of his video editing, and he's got 500,000 subscribers. He's doing all right. I don't know how to say your name. Zaglatitude. M2 Mac Mini is great. I sold mine with 24 gigs and 1 terabyte SSD last month to get the 16 Mbp MacBook Pro for mobility. Yeah, so I had the 16 MacBook Pro, sold that off for the 14-inch MacBook Pro. If I did not have to leave my house, I would easily buy the M2 Pro Mac Mini. I love it. Yeah, Jeremy Collins runs his whole channel off of that M1 Mac Mini. He streams with it. He video edits with it. So, Rosie, tell us what you do. But I'm assuming, I'd be able to run this whole channel off of an M1 Mac Mini. So if you get an M2, you'd be solid, girl. All right, I got about 5 more minutes. So if y'all want to ask any more questions in the chat, it says we have 13 people here, which is so dope, being that I don't ever stream. I really appreciate you all being here. If you have any other questions, we got some gear up at you that we've been talking about tonight. We've been talking about the iPads and the Apple Pencils and the iPhones. We've been talking about some AirPods a little bit. We got more iPads. We got Kindles, guys. You want to talk some Kindle knowledge? Your boy's all about Kindle life, too. When's the cooking channel coming? I'm looking for something to watch. Bro, Actually, Terry put out her first Instagram reel the other day. Got 400 views, man. I was really proud of her. So, hoping she kicks off the channel. We have a video of hers edited and like ready to go. It's just a matter of her punching fear in the face and hitting upload. Do you plan to try to convert to the larger 13 Air or give a fair shot? So Eric, I've been using both of these. Like I said, I have the 13-inch Air right here. I have been using it for reading and doing stuff. The problem is it's just so big. Like in my normal workflow, this 11-inch iPad Pro is a lot more practical for my workflow. This is one thing that's fun on it. If you play any kind of video games, this 13-inch MacBook Air is actually really fun to play with. Like, you can get very detailed on some Clash of Clans, but I don't really play video games that much. So, yeah, I am giving it a fair shot. I'm trying to use it. I'm like bringing it to work with me as well. But the one thing I didn't do, and this is where you're probably right about not giving it a fair shot, is I didn't get the keyboard for it. I do feel like the keyboard is what makes or breaks an iPad for me because I do so much typing. And so you're probably right. I probably didn't give it a completely fair shot. So that could be true. So I have a little bit of a bias, I think, for the 11. No, I don't know that I'd say a bias. Like, I think the price-wise, the 11-inch Pro is insane. All of them are insane. The Air, price-wise, is where it is at. And so if you don't need, the only real big advantage is that ProMotion. If you don't absolutely need that, because like even though the iPad Air is not tandem OLED, it still looks fantastic. There is a marginal difference between the two in the quality of the display. So do with that what you will. Watching on my MacBook Pro 2014, bro. That's awesome. Caleb out here with the 2014 MacBook. Still good. Yeah, bro. So that is the reason why somebody asked before. I think it was Eric asked before, like, why do I like Apple products? Because of how long they last. Like, if you're looking at these things, like this guy, all of these are going to last so long. This iPhone will last another 5, 6, 7 years. You know, all of these things are going to last just forever. And having come from, like I said, I still love building PCs. They go out of like functionality so much quicker than Apple products do. And if you don't believe that, you can fight me on it. So, yeah. That's awesome, man. 2014, that's dope. Are Kindle Scribes worth it for note-taking, or should I just stick to the iPad? Just stick to the iPad. I've wanted to try out the Kindle Scribe, but, like, do you really want another device to bring with you? That's my big thing is, honestly, like, I like reading my Kindle at home, but I don't bring it with me when I go to work or anything. I'll just read off of my iPad. I don't want to bring... I sometimes keep a field notes thing in my pocket, but, like, I just don't like having 1,000 things in my backpack and in my pockets. So... yeah, I don't know. I don't know that the Scribe would be worth it for me just because I don't want to have another device and then another device. So, let's see. It's 10:17 here. Watching the live stream in the office from the 16-inch MacBook Pro i9. Yep, the fan's spinning like crazy. Yeah, dude, those old i9s, the fact that they fit that into that small body. I mean, that was a cool redesign when they went from the 15-inch MacBook Pro to the 16-inch MacBook Pro. That was pretty awesome. But, man, those things sounded like jet engines when they got fired up. And they got fired up in, like, 2 minutes. So, the reason why I got the MacBook Pro M3 Pro is for silent and blazing fast. Yeah, that was the biggest change ever. Going from Intel to Apple Silicon was just the fan noise was gone. It was amazing. Do games like Clash of Clans run in 120 frames? They don't on the iPad Air, which is what I just showed you, because it's only a 60 hertz display. I don't know. I haven't run any tests on the MacBook Pro M4 to like see that, but it is still a smoother display, so it's the like display is still refreshing really fast, so it looks better. I have an 11-inch M1 Pro, so I get it. I plan to get the 13 Pro with slimmed down size, though. Well, nice. I'm glad. Well, hey, guys, if you like this video, I don't even know if I'm going to keep it up, but if you enjoyed this interaction, let me know, because I'd love to do weekly live stream just to get to know people more. I don't like feeling like there's 1,000 new people in my audience. I don't even know audience, like my peoples. Y'all's my peoples. And I don't like that. I don't know your names. So, Eric, I appreciate you. Vintage Jonah, appreciate you. Rosie, Chris Casillas, thank you guys all for being here. Jeremy, appreciate you, brother. Jennifer, thank you so much, guys. And Mr. Noble TV, he was here too. I just really, guys, I appreciate it. Would love to build up just more of a community sense. And yeah, hope you guys have a fantastic night. I'll see y'all in the next one.